Hi guys. So last class we talked about solving similar triangles, and we were looking at these notes. Okay, you should find these notes solving similar triangles using similarity statements. Looks like this, and we had done the first 4 problems, I believe. We had stopped after that, and so we were going to resume here. So here's where we're going to pick up. All right, and that's applying an extended ratio to a picture. Okay, so we had talked before on this first one about how if they give us a scale factor like 6/5, we're able to use that as a fraction, 6/5, and then we find the bigger triangle, and we put the big number on the top because they put the big on the top, and the small triangle, and we put the smaller number on the bottom. Then you can cross multiply to solve, right? We've done this problem already. We're going to extend that now to problems where they've given us the lengths of a triangle without giving us a picture. The scales for all of them. So just like they gave us a ratio of 6/5, here they've given us a ratio of 2, 9, and 10. So instead of giving us just 2 of the ratios, they gave us 1 for all 3. What we need to do is make sure that we're matching them up to the correct side. And the way that we do that is just to look at the letters. So I have 2 here. Do you see how in the parentheses it's saying, okay, the first one is DG. So I need to find DG. Here's DG. So 2 matches up with side DG. I can use this just to create a fraction. You can put it on the top or the bottom. It doesn't matter. I'm going to put it on the top because I think I've got a little more space. Right, so I put a 2 in here that matches up with the side DG. Okay, now I am going to find my next one. I'm probably going to need a different color. Here we go. So the next one is a 9, and the 9 matches up with GH. So I find GH, it's this side, and I know that that has to match up with a 9. So I'll put the 9 on top. I put the 2 on top, I have to put the 9 on top. And our last one is a 10, and it needs to match up with DH. Here's DH. Okay, and it's a little hard to squeeze in here, but I'm going to put 10 up here. Okay, so now I have 3 fractions. Remember, if I'm going to solve for x, I need one with an x in it, and well, honestly, 2 with an x in it would work, but you need 1 with an x in it, preferably one that doesn't have an x. When you're looking for a fraction that has an x in it, use the easy one, okay? And remember, you only need 2. You need 2 fractions or ratios. I don't need all 3. So I'm going to take this 2 over 3x, because of the ones that have x in it, that one's clearly easier. And then I'm going to take this one, 9 over 81, and use that one, because that one also looks like it's going to be easier. I'm going to cross out this one because I don't really need it. Okay, I only need 2 to solve for x. Okay, our next step is going to be to cross multiply to solve. 9 times 3x is 27x's, and that's going to be equal to 2 times 81, which is 162. We divide by 27 on both sides to get that x by itself. I get that x is equal to 6. Okay? So just remember that if they give you ratios, either 2 of them or 3 of them, match them up with the side as it specifies, or match them up with the size. Okay? Then you only need 2. All right? Now let's go ahead and flip over to the back and check out the problems that we've got going on here. Okay, so these 2 problems should look similar to what we have done before. All right, there's nothing significantly different on these. It's mostly just matching up the sides. All right, so let's walk through those. It's good to go through these though, because this problem comes up a lot. All right, it says to solve for x. That's what we're trying to do. So I always try to find my x first, okay? And it looks like I've got an x here, all right? And that's NP, okay? So I'll just make this one my pink triangle. Make myself a fraction. I'll use this one as my other triangle, okay? Oops, wrong color there, that's all right. Okay, so then if I'm looking at NP, I need to find its match, and its match is going to be RP. So, and that's true for most triangles that touch like this. The ones that are across are the ones that match up. So I'm going to start by making sure that I put my pink on top and my blue on the bottom. I have a key for that. And now I need two fractions to solve. All right, I have x plus 8. And then on the bottom I have 3x minus 9. That's going to be equal to, and now I need one more fraction. They only gave me two sets of numbers, so I need two numbers to make a fraction, and I need the pink on the top. I went pink blue, so I need to go pink blue again. So I've got 24, and that's MP, and so I'm going to use QR, or excuse me, QP, to match it up. That's its corresponding part, 28. Okay. Now we're going to cross multiply and solve. Remember when you were cross multiplying and you have a big, more than one chunk or a term with an x in it, you need to put in parentheses, because when we cross multiply to solve, the way we have to set this up, single one up front, single number goes in the front, and then in parentheses next to that, x plus 8 equals my other wing, single number up front, and then parentheses 3x minus 9. Take a moment and see if you can do this cross multiplication on your own. Go ahead and pause. Okay, so you should have gotten, if I am cross multiplying, 28x plus 224 is equal to 72x minus 216. All right, and when I cross that out, I need to bring this over here. So I would subtract, because right now it's plus, and I get minus, excuse me, numbers are hard. Actually, let's do it the other way. Let's bring the other one over, just easier to add it. So we'll bring this one over and say that's okay, plus 216, all right? And that's going to give me 28x here, and 4 plus 440 is equal to 72x. Then I subtract 28x by bring it over, and I get 440 is equal to 44x. So now when I divide, sorry, got a little squishy there, I get 10. Now for my scale factor, I can take any fraction and simplify it to get my scale factor, or you can use a decimal. So for example, I would use the 24 over 28. I want one without an x. And to simplify that one, I can divide them both by 4. That's going to give me 24 divided by 4 is 6. 28 divided by 4 is 7. So my scale factor is 6 out of 7. You can do it that way, or if you'd like, you can give me a decimal value. Okay? So this next problem we've done a lot of. It's a good review for those of you who were absent last class, but I'd like you to give this a try on your own. So go ahead and please pause the video, and when you come back, we'll go over it. Okay, so you should have gotten x is equal to 9 with a scale factor of 5 over 2. So when you're matching up parts, remember to use your statements at the top, right? We have 25, which was TL, and that should have matched up with CH. So I had 25 over 10, and I went blue, pink, so I need to go blue, pink again. Then also remember, when you're doing your cross multiplication, to put the single one out front in parentheses here. Then you need to make sure that you are distributing. You need to multiply the 25 and by the 5. Same thing here, multiplying, multiplying, okay? Then as you finish this up, you should have gotten 9. If you're having trouble, put it in Desmos or check in with Miss Waite. All right, let's take a look at the last two problems, which are different from ones that we've done before. Okay, so the problem with these is that it's got a triangle inside a triangle. And what I'm going to recommend for all of these problems is this is kind of your map. These problems are really hard to interpret unless you redraw it. So I'm going to draw like a small triangle that looks kind of like it, close enough. And I'm going to draw a big triangle that looks kind of like it, close enough. Okay, so this is going to be my small triangle, and those letters are A, D, E. A, D, E. And then I take the measurements that I've given me. See how I've got the top line as a 20? And over here on the side, I've got a 15. That makes it a lot easier to see. My big triangle is this whole thing, because I have a triangle inside a triangle, right? So this triangle is going to be A, B, C. And this side is clearly 2x plus 3. And I can tell because it's in between, it's in the middle, okay? So I have 2x plus 3. This side, though, this side is broken into two parts. Do you see how this little part, the small side of the triangle, is 20, and the other little part is 8? But I don't want just part of it, I want the whole thing. So to get the whole thing, I have to add the two parts together. 20 plus 8 is going to give me 28. Okay, so those are the numbers that we're going to be working with. Once you've been able to figure out the parts together, it's fairly simple to match up, because we know that this side is a part of this side, so these two go together, right? I'm just going to do small to big, so 20, small, has to match up with the big side of 28. And that's going to be equal to the bottom of 15, and I did small big, so I'm going to do small big again. Matches up with the big side of 2x plus 3. Now I could have put it the other way around. I could have done big to small. That would still work, all right? At this point, you just need to cross multiply and solve. Remember that you're setting it up as 20 is times 2x plus 3 is equal to 28 times 15. Okay? So we're going to make sure that we get our distribution on, and we get 40x plus 60 on this side, and 28 times 15 is 420. Okay, then we subtract 60 from both sides, and we get 40x is equal to 360. And then when we divide by 40, we get x is equal to 9. So you should get an x is equal to 9 here. And then for the scale type factor, remember we take one with no variable in it, and we simplify. You can either divide it and get a fraction, or you can simplify the fraction. Here, I think I would divide both of them by 4, and that's going to give me a 5 over a 7. Okay, so let's take a look at how to set up the last one. Again, this one is a little bit different, and anytime you have a triangle inside a triangle, you're going to set up two triangles. Okay, so I'm going to take my small triangle, got a little triangle, and I got a big triangle. I promise you redrawing it is going to be worth your time. Okay, this is YSC, and my big triangle, RST. RST. Move this up a little bit. Okay, so then we figure out what each of our sides are worth. They gave us the one down here for the pink triangle. This is 2x plus 2. And they gave us this one as 3x minus 7. Now here, this whole thing is 40. Okay, so I know that this long side from S to T is 40. So I know what this one is, but this time I don't know the small one. What I do know is that this little small part is 5. So if this is 40 and the small part is 5, then if I subtract the 5 from the 40, that'll tell me what's left. Okay, 40, take away 5, gives me the remainder of this line. So on my small triangle, this part has to be 35. Because if this is 35 and I add it to the 5, I get 40. Okay? So setting up, again, is straightforward. Right, we've got, I'm going to go this way to this way, blue to pink this time. 40 over 35 is equal to, and then the 3x minus 7 over 2x plus 2. Okay. Put those in parentheses. Make sure you cross multiply to solve, right, and get your scale factor. Why don't you take a moment to solve that out on your own? So hopefully you got x is equal to 13 by cross multiplying and distributing to solve. And your scale factor, remember you take the one that does not have the x in it, and you simplify to get your scale factor. Okay, so now that we have finished all of these notes, you should be able to complete the practice sheet that you began last class. The practice sheet said more practice similar figures. Many of you turned that back in, or turned that in. We'll hand it back out to you. You should have already done 1 through 3. If you didn't, finish those up. And now, please complete numbers 4, 5, and the back through 10. So you should be completing this sheet now. Thank you.